Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about Jack Miller and how he fared out in the Sepang test. Now, Jack, being Jack, is always very open and very honest, and he says that he's kind of hit a wall in what happened in the Sepang test. Now, let's be fair to him. Moving from a Ducati GP22 to a KTM RC16 is always going to be a massive adjustment period. And when you look at what he did in Valencia, it always kind of seems to me that test was always kind of a rose-tinted glasses test. You know, you were excited, happy. You know, it was a one-day test where you could just blast around, no real program, the boring stuff, test this, test that, test the other. It was more about getting an eye in on the bike and understanding where the potential was. And, you know, in Sepang, with the weather, I do believe, you know, this didn't help Jack. And KTM had a massive test program to get through. The weather wasn't really playing ball. So, for me, you know, I'm not or wasn't surprised to see Jack a little bit down the field. And let's not be, you know, crazy here. Jack is not a P15, P16 rider. So kind of seeing him hovering around there is not very nice, or is not nice, especially for Jack. But, you know, he went to do a time attack and he crashed in turn one. So it was a little less ideal than what he'd hoped for. He did do a lap after, but again, time attacks were never a part of the program or were not important to KTM. Getting through the test program and getting the data from those testing bits were the priority. Now, saying that, he did say that he has hit a wall in how he's riding the bike. You know, the way he is in the middle of the corner, he can see in the data that the other lads are ahead of him. How he comes off the corner, he can also see the other guys are ahead of him. And it, you know, it's going to take him time, because he's never experienced a KTM, to understand what the bike needs in, middle and out of the corner. You know, whereas Brad and Polo Espargaro have an understanding of the philosophy of KTM, Miller is still learning this. But every time he rides the bike, this gives him more and more data. He does see the potential in the bike, which is good, but he just needs to learn overall how to ride the bike. You know, as I said, he knows he's losing speed, you know, in the middle of the corner. And I think it's only a matter of time before it clicks with Jack. What I found interesting with Jack, though, he did say where the KTM is strong in the wet, it's weak in the dry. So I believe that could possibly be in the chassis or the flex from the chassis, which is causing this. You know, if you have a chassis that flexes too much in the dry, then, you know, you will be suffering with it. However, if it flexes in the wet, this will help you generate the grip that you need to go that little bit faster in the turns, etc. But I thought it was a very open and honest kind of conversation with Jack after the test. You know, he's not happy with his own performance, which is standard Jack. You know, he's always wanting to push himself even further. But he sees the opportunity with the bike. He sees what the bike can actually do. So I definitely think it's going to be interesting to see what Jack does on the KTM this year. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What do you think of Jack's performance? What do you think of the comment that he made about where the KTM is strong in the wet, it's weak in the dry? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.